Whoa. Hi, can you tell me who you are?
Jack Duggan from Re-Clam the Bay.
Jack, what are you doing here at Chowderfest today?
We're trying to help clean up the bay by selling these pallets, which people put chowder in, and 5,000 clams go into the bay next year, baby clams, for every pallet we sell.
Great, well, thank you very much. We hope you sell a lot of them today.
We hope so too, and we'll hope everyone gets together to help try to clean up the bay, because that's what we all got to do together.
Knee deep in water somewhere, got the...
Hi, can you tell me who you are?
I'm Stan Haviland. I'm with Re-Clam the Bay. We're an organization that is producing baby clams and oysters with the intention of helping the bay to recover from the loss of clams over the years. Our real goal is to see to it that people don't over-fertilize, don't dump their dog poop in the gutters and all these things which wind up in the bay. When that happens, this stuff creates nitrogen. Nitrogen causes growth of algae. The algae blocks the sun from getting into the eelgrass. The eelgrass then dies. As it disintegrates, it absorbs all the oxygen out of the water, and everything down in the bottom of the bay then dies. So it's very, very critical.
How long has your organization been active?
We're about 8 years now that we've been doing this. My responsibility is we have what we call upwellers, which is a term based on the fact that the water comes in from a side, and the only way it can get out is to go up through the cylinders that contain all the clams, and then it goes back out into the bay. And I'm responsible for the upweller that we have in Barnegat Light.
How are you doing? How are things coming along?
Doing very, very well. Right now, well, up until last week, we had 125,000 baby clams and about 30,000 oysters. We have taken about half of the clams now and turned them over to one of the baymen who was severely affected by Sandy. Not only were his clams and oysters a problem, but the EPA closed them down, saying that the pollution had created a problem with the meat, which is questionable, but better safe than sorry.
So where are these folks, like this gentleman, for example, that you're helping out? Where are his clam beds? Where is he?
He's down in the Tuckerton area, down the southern end of the bay.
Okay. And for people who are not familiar with the New Jersey shore in the area, how much clamming is going on here? Where are the clam beds and the harvesting? How does it stretch?
Most of the clam beds that are commercial beds where they're leased land that the commercial guys put the clams down, monitor them, and then rake them back up again. They're mostly down the southern end of the bay. There's regular clamming, non-commercial clamming throughout the bay, because there are clams there, just not near as many as there were. Around the turn of the century, the last century, 1 square yard had over 500 clams in it. Today, if you have a clam in a square yard, you're kind of happy about it.
Wow, and the difference is due to pollution primarily, or to overfishing, or
over-clamming to a large degree, and the pollution. Back when we had sewers and septic tanks and all that was being dumped into the bay. The overrun, the population in the area of the bay creates runoff water from the entire county, all winds up pretty much in our bay. So whatever pollutants there are, eventually, it may take many years, but they're going to wind up in the bay. And that's why we're concerned with that.
Stan, are you making enough progress to make you believe that you're going to win this war?
One of the things that I'd like to gauge our progress on is if you look at the clam charts where it's legal to take clams.
Okay.
If you look a few years ago, there were several areas that were restricted that have now been opened. So you now are legal year-round clamming. So to me, that's an indication that we are making progress.
Okay.
What I'd like to see is more of my baby clams, because we can identify our clams. They're a modification or a different subspecies of the regular hard clam, and so they have a coloration on them. So when we put those out in the bay, if you get one, you know that it's your babies that you're collecting. So it's fun to have.
It's your baby. That's great. And tell me what you're doing here today at Clam Fest.
Okay. What we're doing here is we have our booth here where we're selling raffle tickets for a kayak.
Keep talking.
And as a result, that money that we collect is what goes to paying for the upweller components, the clams, the oysters, all the stuff that we need to buy in order to keep the system running.
Well, best of luck today. I hope you sell a lot of those little plates that people can use to hold their clam chowder today.
Right, thank you very much.
Got to get ourselves back to the good.